Hey folks, welcome back. We are doing a mix in Universal Audio's Luna for an original song called Hill Country Fall, and let's get right into it. Sorry I've been away for a while, I've been super busy, but let's jump right back in where we left off. I'm going to start this kind of at the beginning to get a feel for what's happening here. Okay, first thing I'm going to do, I am going to start with the ATR-102 on the main bus. That's not my mix bus, that's coming after the mix bus, the main out. And the reason I'm doing that is because all of my processing on my mix bus, I want to print to the ATR-102. And in this new extension, if you haven't had a chance to go through it yet, we have a couple of options here. We actually have a pre and a post switch here that allows us to be pre-fader or post fader. If you're on the main bus and you instantiate the ATR-102, it defaults to pre, which is what I want. I want it to, I want what comes out of this mix bus fader to go right to that machine. And if you were on any other bus, it would be set to post fader. And that makes sense to me as well. It means that everything that comes through this bus would be printed to that tape machine and then go on to the mix bus or main bus if that's what you were going to. Now, there are a bunch of options here, and if you want to go through a huge deep dive on the ATR-102, there's a video on my channel that goes through the main plugin, but the extension is basically the same. It's missing a couple of things that kind of cause it to be a hugely latent plugin. It has a lot of latency when you just use the regular one. And this extension is a kind of a lighter version of it. It doesn't have the delay. It doesn't have, control over wow and flutter, stuff like that. But we do have tape types, speed, the size of the record head, playback head, etc. And so what I've done here on the output, I've actually set up what I would normally set up with the regular plugin here. This is a Scotch 250 tape at 15 IPS, and it's on a 1/4 inch. And that's usually my preferable way of doing things. Now on the extension over here on the window, we can open up the top of the plugin, and we have more control over high frequency, low frequency content. That's the repro head. We also have the record head EQs that are set to default, even though I actually pulled down some of the high frequency out of this plugin, usually right off the bat. We do have noise that you can turn on if you wanted to. We have the NAB or the CCIR EQ emphasis curve, and auto cal for the EQs on the repro and record heads. So if I turn this on, let's take a listen to this mix at the beginning. Take a listen to when the drums come in. I'm going to move over here a little bit, and then I'll turn it off and listen to the difference. It's got a lot more harmonic content. It's gluing it together more, which is exactly what I want a tape machine, a print down machine, to do after a mix bus. This is perfect for what I'm doing here with this sort of California sound. The tape formula, everything I can set up exactly how I would on a regular machine and then mix into it. So let's move over here to the guitars right fast. I have this EQ I set up here because there's a frequency I don't like. That real muddy part down in the bottom there. And I'm actually going to undo that because I want to do it with a different plugin. I want to do that with a Neve. I recorded this through a Neve, kind of a copy of a Neve. It's the Warm Audio WA73 EQ or whatever the name of that thing is. It's the 1073 copy with the EQ engaged, and I did not pull down enough of the low end when I recorded it. So what I'm going to do is do that now. I don't need the Mark II for this. I have plenty of harmonic content from the preamp I used. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this one. Cool, that already sounds better to me. I'm going to start it over and see how it feels coming into where the drums and the bass come in. Head back to where that piano comes in and see if I can make it fit a little bit better. Okay, cool. Let's move over now to the Strat and the Les Paul that are going through the Marshall amp. Now, I don't have anything on this channel right now because if you were watching the last time when I added this track in right in the middle of the mixing session, all of the effects were actually printed onto it. Okay, if we go back to the beginning, I just want to hear how those 12 strings come in now with the reverb on them. As of right now, I only have one reverb in this whole thing, I think. I'm just using the EMT 140, and that's pretty common for an older 70s kind of sound. I may actually in the next video add a reverb or two, especially for the snare, that won't be that plate. Let's see how this sounds now with the 12 strings going into the EMT. Okay, cool. I'm liking the way this is coming together. In the next video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the automation, probably add a reverb here or there. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I apologize for being away, but thank you again for tuning in. If you like this video, please hit subscribe. Please hit the little bell. Please hit the like button, and more videos are coming very soon.